Hello everybody, I'm the airplane expert Hideki. Welcome to my channel. Today I'd like to review an aircraft with a beautiful die-cast model. I'd like to introduce Vought F-8 Crusader VMF EW212 Lancers from Century Wings. The Vought F-8 Crusader, originally F-8U, is a single-engine, supersonic, carrier-based air superiority jet aircraft built by Vought. The Crusader was the last American fighter with guns as the primary weapon, earning in the title the last of the Gunfighters. It was to have a top speed of Mach 1.2 at 30,000 feet, 9,144 meters, with a climb rate of 25,000 feet per minute, 127 meters per second, and a landing speed of no more than 100 miles per hour, 160 kilometers per hour. In response, the Vought team led by John Russell Clark created the V-383. In May 1953, the Vought design was declared a winner, and in June, Vought received an order for 3 XF-8U1 prototypes. After adopting the unified designation system in September 1962, the F-8U became the F-8. The first prototype flew on the 25th of March 1955 with Jen Conrad at the controls. The aircraft exceeded the speed of sound during its maiden flight. Development was so trouble-free that the second prototype, along with the first production F-8U1, flew on the same day on the 13th September 1955. On the 4th of April 1956, the F-8U1 performed its first catapult launch from USS Forrestal. It was the world's first supersonic fighter as a carrier-based aircraft. Unit deployment began in 1957, and by 1965, 1,259 aircraft of each type had been produced. Later, the operational policy of the U.S. Navy's Aircraft Carrier Task Force changed, and carrier-based fighters were required to be versatile. Jet fighters were also required to have the ability as fighter bombers. Unfortunately, the Grumman F-11F Tiger, which was adopted at the same time, was short-lived because it could not meet this demand, but the F-8 was mass-produced because it also had a certain versatility. In addition, Due to its excellent takeoff and landing capabilities, it was adopted by the French Navy, which has only a smaller aircraft carrier than the US military. Even though it was a country that owned a regular aircraft carrier and have been active for a long time while updating aircraft devices. The F-8 boasted higher performance than the US Air Force fighters of the time. For example, the US Air Force's F-100 fighter with the same engine had a top speed of Mach 1.3, while F-8 reached Mach 1.7. This is because the nose cone protruding from the top of the air intake happened to act as a shock cone, maximizing the performance of the engine. Since a B-type, the nose cone has become a radar dome equipped with a radar and became larger, but the ability as a shock cone had also improved unexpectedly. The F-8 was powered by a Pratt & Whitney J57 turbojet engine. The engine was equipped with an afterburner that, unlike on later engines, was either free-lit or off. The most innovative aspect of the design was the variable incident wing, which pivoted by 7 degrees out of the fuselage on takeoff and landing. This allowed a greater angle of attack, increasing lift without compromising forward visibility. The innovation helped the F-8's development team win the Korea Trophy in 1956. The Robert J. Korea Trophy is an annual aviation award administered by the U.S. National Aeronautic Association (NAA), presented to those who had made the greatest achievement in aeronautics or astronautics in America, with respect to improving the performance, efficiency, and safety of air or space vehicles. The armament, as specified by the Navy, consisted primarily of 4 20mm .79-inch autocannons. The Crusader happened to be the last US fighter designed with guns as its primary weapon. They are supplemented with a retractable tray with 32 unguided Mark 4/Mark 40 folding fin area rockets, Mighty Mouse FFARs, and cheek pylons for 2 guided AIM-9 Sidewinder air-to-air missiles. The F-8 was put into the Vietnam War. The US Navy had also introduced the latest F-4 Phantom II, but due to the influence of the Missile Universal series, it did not carry an aircraft artillery and relied only on air-to-air missiles which did not demand high mobility. Under these circumstances, the F-8, which was equipped with light mobility and 4 20mm cannons, was called the last gunfighter and shot down a large number of enemy aircrafts, such as the MiG-17. It has highest kill ratio, shoot down to shot down ratio of 8:1 in the US military throughout the Vietnam War. Also, although the number of the shot downs were half that of the F-4, 18 in total, it was very effective, considering that the total number of aircraft participating in the operation was much smaller. For that reason, it was also called the MiG Master. However, there were no shoot down using only a machine gun. The Colt Mark 12 mounted on the F-8 was said to have been unreliable. In practice, AIM-9 Sidewinder missile was the F-8's primary weapon. After the end of the Vietnam War, the fighter type F-8 was retired in 1976 due to the retirement of the Essex-class aircraft carrier. However, the reconnaissance type RF-8G was deployed for a long time as a bridge to the deployment of the F-14 reconnaissance type, and the last aircraft was retired from the US Navy in 1987. The French Navy, which has deployed and using the F-8 on the front line until the end, also retired with the retirement of Clemenceau in 1979 and Foch in 2000, sold to the Brazilian Navy. In other countries, the Philippine Air Force repaired and used a retired aircraft from the US Navy, but it was abandoned because it was damaged during the 1991 eruption of Mount Pinatubo. This model is Vought F-8 Crusader VMF EW212, the Lancers. VMF EW212 was activated as Marine Fighter Squadron 212 VMF 212, the Hellhounds, at Marine Corps Air Station Eva, Hawaii on the 1st of March 1942. During the duration of World War II, VMF 212 was credited with shooting down 132.5 enemy aircrafts. VMF 212 was one of the first squadrons sent to the Far East at the outbreak of the Korean War. On the 9th of June 1952, VMF 212 was redesignated as VMA 212. Starting near or shortly after the Korean War and up until the autumn of 1961, VMA 212 flew the North American FJ-4 Fury. From approximately September 1961 to July 1963, VMA 212 flew the Douglas Air Force Skyhawk out of MCAS Kaneohe. On the 1st of July 1963, Squadron received the Vought F-8 Crusader and redesignated VMF 212. Furthermore, on the 1st of July 1964, it transitioned to the Vought F-8E model and redesignated VMF EW212. The F-8E is most produced Crusader, which boasted 286 aircraft. The aircraft changed the engine to J57P20A and had a large nose cone with higher performance AN/APQ-94 radar. A helm has been added to the upper part of the fuselage and equipped with electric equipment for the AGM-12 bullpup missile. Also, an IRST sensor blister has been added in the front of the canopy. Furthermore, from Unit 95, by equipping one hardpoint under each one of the left and right main wings, it was possible to bomb up to 5,000 pounds, 2,270 kg, and the AGM-12 bullpup air-to-ground missile. It became a versatile fighter with enhanced ground attack capabilities, such as the addition of the missile guidance system AN/ARW-77. In April 1965, the squadron, now known as the Lancers, sailed aboard the USS Oriskany, becoming the first Marine Corps jet squadron to be deployed aboard an aircraft carrier in combat. On the 9th of September 1965, Commander Air Group of CBW-16, James Stockdale's F-4E Skyhawk, was shot down over North Vietnam, making the commanding officer of VMF EW-212 the acting CAG until a replacement arrived. This made 212's commanding officer, Lieutenant Colonel Chuck Laden, the first Marine Corps officer to command a carrier wing. In December 1965, the squadron returned to Hawaii having flew 3,018 combat hours and 1,588 sorties during their time off the coast of Vietnam. Due to a reorganization within Marine Aviation, the squadron was deactivated in 2008 in order to facilitate the Corps' transition to the F-35. Today, we looked at 172 Vought F-8 Crusader VMF EW-212 from Century Wings. My airplane videos are available every Thursday. Hope to see you again soon. Subscribe. Break ready now.